Under the beta of Premiere has a thing where it will cancel out all the audio. So,
Really?
for instance, like the one video I found, the guy had like a lawnmower going next to him and literally cut it all out.
I think no. I know Adobe made something like this,
Yes.
but it's more for like podcast. I think it's more for podcast because you can use just audio and you put it in the.
No, I'll show you. I have it on here.
Oh, it's on Premiere.
Yeah, it's
on the actual Premiere.
Premiere beta.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. See,
Damn, this shit sounds pretty crisp.
it's clean, right? Is this my cup?
Yes, sir.
All right, bet. Ooh.
I can't hear shit. Dude, I can only
Alright.
hear you because like the noise is coming through
Let
here.
me fix my hair and then I'm gonna start the intro.
Ooh.
All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of the Passion Project podcast. My name is Daniel, your host today. And this episode, I have a new guest with me that is pretty well known in Southwest Florida, has worked his ass off. He does really talented photography work, and he does a lot of adult content that you would not expect. Does adult content that you wouldn't expect. But I'll fix that.
I dribbled a little bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is TaberPhotos.
What's up, guys?
Wow,
How's it
wait,
going?
Actually, isn't there a button that I have that? Nope,
Oh,
that's the wrong
shit.
button. There we go.
Yes, thank you. thank you.
TaberPhotos, TaberPhotos.
Hold your applause. Hold your applause. Thank you, everybody.
Woo. So, thank you for being on the podcast.
No problem.
I know we've tried to record a podcast like this before, and it didn't work out as planned.
Shit happens.
Shit happens, but now we are here. We are finally here. We are actually at the Cave Studios. If you guys can tell, this is a different scenery here.
Yeah.
We are here at Taber's studio, getting the podcast, just to get a fresh new vibe, and we're kind of stepping into his world, getting understanding of his life, his understanding of why he got into photography. So let's start with, I guess, an introduction of yourself. Just a
Oh, hold on. Wait. I remember you asked me some questions. Hi, my name is Kyle Tabor. I'll be 33 in August. I've been shooting for about 10, 11 years. I don't remember exactly.
wow, it's been that long.
It's kind of blurry a little bit.
Oh wow.
But yeah, I've been living over here in Fort Myers for 3 years, and yeah, and I opened up the studio, and this is my home. I'm here pretty much all the time.
So, did you have a life before photography?
Yes, it was.
What was that?
Automotive.
Oh yeah, because you say you were a mechanic, right?
Yes, I was a mechanic prior to this. My prior life was a mechanic, and that's what kind of opened the door for me for photography. Oddly enough, I guess you could say.
What made you want to do mechanic? Is it because you just knew cars and you knew how to fix it, so you thought it was good pay?
I always thought it was crazy how fast humans were always trying to go to, and I always thought how cool it was, like knowing people pushing the limits to how fast cars can go. And I think that's what kind of, and it's very amazing how an engine works and how cars work, and even compared to old to new style bodies, like the way how a car works is pretty phenomenal. And I guess it just kind of hooked on me. Like I hate NASCAR, but any other motorsports, talk to me about it. I'll talk to you for hours about.
See, that's probably why I'm more of a Honda Civic. That's how I run.
Surprisingly enough, that's where my hardcore background is, in Honda Civics.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Back in the day, me and my buddy, we used to sell a bunch of car parts, and our customers were all Honda Civic peoples. So we'd sell like short shifters, intake manifolds, throttle bodies.
I don't know any of those terms.
They're just car parts.
Okay, car parts.
And surprisingly enough, I started obviously selling the car parts that we were, and I couldn't figure out why my parts weren't selling. Obviously, it was probably part of SEO and other stuff, but I always thought, like, man, my shit's not selling. Is it because I have a shitty photo? And I would like take it on a shitty camera. And I think that's what kind of evolved me to learn more about photography, because I was selling more car parts. And
Okay, so let me ask, what were you using to take these pictures with?
At the time when I was selling the car parts, I think I was shooting with like some point and shoot Olympus, but then
Oh, like those little digital
yeah, like
type
point and
cameras.
shoots.
Oh
And
my
then
God.
after that, my ex-girlfriend, she took a photography class and she had a Rebel T2i or TI, and
Nice.
that's what kind of understood photography was with that camera right there.
Nice.
And so
Okay.
because of her taking a class, I had access to her camera, and boom, that's
Okay. Okay. See, I started with the Nikon D3400, so I started on a different route.
yeah.
I was never really. What was funny was when I started with the Nikon, I actually got really intimidated with the Canon, even though I only saw a Canon T7 I, like you said, like the first generations. And I looked at it, I was like, oh, this shit looks complicated. I don't think I'm gonna want to get into this one.
That's how I felt about Nikon, because I felt like you couldn't just change your ISO by one button. It was like 4 or 5 buttons. But if you
Yeah,
really think about it, both base model cameras were the same way. You still had to hit 1 or 2 buttons to change your ISO, or 1 button to change your f-stop, compared to the pro bodies where you don't have to do that.
you
And
can just
so,
touch the display now.
yeah,
All you gotta do.
mirrorless.
Yeah, that's the cool part of it. Well, that's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
So I gotta ask then, what was the? I know you said it because the you got inspired from doing it after taking pictures of that. Were there any other inspiration or any other reason that kind of drove you to do more of the photography?
So after a while, I was very big in the car scene. I probably should send you some pictures of the car stuff, so you can put it in the video.
Hey, that would be cool.
So I was really big in the car scene, and my ex-girlfriend wanted to go to a school in New Jersey.
Oh wow.
And at that point, I was just like, do I continue the automotive, or do I try to start something new? And I went up there and I kind of did an internship. Well, I was up there for a couple of months, and I tried out for a photography intern for
Oh
a
wow.
studio. And that's what really got me into there, because I showed up with this portfolio that I threw together.
So who was your? Was it?
It was a studio called PM Studios, and there were 2 owners, Pat and Mitch.
Pat and Mitch. So two
Yeah.
guys.
No, a guy and a girl,
Guy and a
husband
girl?
and wife.
Oh, nice.
The wife did more high-end fine portraits,
Oh,
like very traditional style. Like
like magazine type looks
no,
or
like if you, what's his name? AMP. You know that guy AMP? That's not Earl. I forgot his
Mhm,
name.
yes.
Think of Earl and Tanya Bonds put together, mixed. That was like his wife.
Oh,
Very clean, traditional poses, to the point where
wow.
they shot with a 1D classic, and very Rembrandt lighting, a 2 or 3 light setup max. So you had a huge 60, 70-inch softbox and a nice little kick light. So that's why I like those guys, because they remind me of PM Studios back in the day.
That's crazy.
And so, but yeah, it was very clean, traditional. And then the husband, Mitch, he ran volume stuff. So throughout the day, I would go do like school portraits, soccer, baseball, all those stuff. And then in the afternoon, I would come back to the studio and do all the fine art stuff with her. Family portraits, all that other stuff. So I had both sides of the stuff. And what was cool, I was dealing with customers too. So I would like close sales or set appointments.
So the husband does more of like the serious type of photos, and then the wife does the more creative side.
volume for the husband, creative for the wife.
Okay. I get you.
Close.
I get what you mean. But that's cool though. That's cool.
Yeah.
Dang. So an internship, huh?
Yeah.
I see. I
They-
thought
They offered me a fat paycheck. Oh, so I only wanted to be in New Jersey for 3 years. And after that, I was like, I'm done. And so they offered me to place to stay, a lot of money hourly. And I was like, no, man, I want to come back to Florida. And when I moved back to Florida, that's when everything kind of took off from me.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So when you started the photography, was this more of like a hobby into a
It was-
business, or was this just straight business for
It
you?
was never a hobby. It was just straight business, because it was from the automotive section.
Okay.
So from the automotive section, it was straight business. When I moved to New Jersey, I was working at Pep Boys until I found that opportunity from that studio. And at that point, that's when I went over there. And I
So
was-
I'm assuming because even though as a photographer that you're learning from the the creative side. I know you have to learn obviously
Yeah.
the business side of
Yeah.
running a photography studio and
You're a
everything.
businessman first, or I shouldn't even say man. You're a business
Business.
person first, then a photographer second.
Yes. And I guess it's why it's different for me, because I started this into the more creative side first.
Yeah.
I did it because I wanted to get into YouTube and just wanted to create for fun. And then
Mhm.
now that I'm learning into the business, it's a scary world because I'm very sensitive with my art. I'm sensitive with what I create compared to what people are asking and demanding.
Yep.
So like now I'm trying to get an understanding and learn from you. Like, how was that like when you started?
It was very hard because my family didn't really they supported me, but they didn't like. I guess I always wanted that approval from them.
Okay,
Um,
I felt that the same way.
and my family, both my mom's a teacher now, or she's in the teaching industry,
Nice.
and my dad works in the hospital, so they were always like, go to college.
Nurse?
He's in. At the time, he went to school for. He was in nursing, but now he's more in. What's that? Not admin. He's like an admin, but logistics admin. I think that's
Oh, okay.
his title. They never really supported me. They always wanted the best for me, but they were never like, "Oh, do this." Like I would ask them something about business, and they'd be like, "Go to school for it." And I didn't like that. Like,
Because they want you to learn the hard way.
no, they just wanted me to go to college, and I never thought. Sorry, got a little burp. I think college is stupid.
Yeah, I felt that.
To certain degrees, if you're certain professions, yes, but certain things like, I don't think you need to go to college for that.
No.
And I've always wanted their approval, so I guess I don't know. It was that hard learning of how to learn to run a business. I had one family member, his name was JC, and he's always run businesses, but I never really spoke to him about it. And I always try to get like approval and advice from my uncle, my mom, my dad, and it just didn't work the way I wanted it to work.
Oh, wow. Really?
So yeah, it sucked.
Damn.
And it was funny because when I opened this place, I didn't tell him about it. I just did it. Because each time I told my uncle, because at the time I was living with my uncle when I moved back, and I was like, oh, I want to open up a studio. And he would be like, do it, but not right now. Like, go later on and do it. So I moved over here. I kind of figured out a way how to do it, and I did it. And when I opened it, my parents were like, no, for real, whose studio is this? I was like, it's mine. And they're like, no. I was like, no,
way.
for real. Because I didn't ask them. I asked them like random things on how to build a wall, but I didn't really ask them pretty much anything.
Oh,
I just did it. So
they just thought you were getting into the handiwork more.
yeah. I don't even think handy is a proper word, but they just didn't really know until I was like, yeah, this is mine.
Wow.
And I think it shocked a lot of people too, because I did it in silence almost.
Was it at least an exciting shock, or were they?
Dude, I cry every fucking day. I always tell myself I'm going to quit. Building that wall, I thought it was going to take me 3 days. It took me a month.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know what I was doing. And even like putting up the sign, everything. It was just, dude, like.
It was a lot of work. It was a lot of sweat and tears.
Dude, I have so many gray hairs now. Like.
A lot of good, a lot of hard. He's probably made so many memories, just created this whole place. Which is crazy. Because I remember the first time how this looked before.
It was white.
Yeah. And there was an actual wall right here that separated that background. So it's really crazy how much spaces have been happening in here.
Yes.
But that's awesome. No, I think that's really great. And
do you remember you made that video for me when I first?
Yes. I think it was like a Peter McKinnon beat that I heard.
Yes.
I was like, this is gonna fit better for him. Yeah, it was nice. And I think because you had some hate about that video.
I think everybody hates me.
Yeah. Well, that's on them. They don't get the chance to have good content for what they created on. So
yeah.
But no, that's cool though. And I guess speaking on the Cave Studios, I know in the beginning you did not start the Cave. I mean, you technically started alone, but you started to grow, and then you worked into like a work partnership with other creators.
Yeah. I asked a couple of people to come work here. Just one, because I didn't know I don't even know if this is the correct word, the inedible. Like, I didn't know what the future brought, so I was always worried about that. So I thought if I had other people working here, it would make my stress go down. But my stress is still there all the time.
Really?
Every day I have stress. Like even today, dude, I told myself, I was like, dude, I don't know if I could do this anymore. Like it's just so much stress.
Oh, I bet.
So yeah, I had two people, Alex and Eugenio at first. And then Alex wanted to go do a couple different things in his life. So, you know, he wanted to go do his thing, and we're still friends. Eugenio unfortunately moved to California, which was very sad for me because we were really close.
Shout out to Eugenio,
Dude,
photographer gaze.
yeah, photographer gaze.
Very talented photographer.
And you know what's crazy? How we met. Eugenio and I, how we met.
How'd you guys meet?
Through a mutual photographer that I used to be good friends with.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about.
Yes.
Yes.
He
Okay.
did a shoot with that person, and that photographer brought me there. And
Yes, it was the motorcycle shoot.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because like how well Eugenio and I clicked. Like I wasn't overstepping my position, but I was helping him and giving suggestions, and it was just really cool how we clicked. And after that, because I've always seen him on Facebook on that group. At the time it was TNL, now it's something else.
Creative.
Yeah.
Something.
And at the time I would always see him there, and we'd always like each other's stuff, but we really never spoke. But that moment was the moment where like I think we're a good match with each other, and it just kind of took off for that.
Yeah, because I like the fact that he's not the type that seems to want to be too out there, but he's sharing his work now and then, and he's still getting like the likes and the comments, and he's at least replying, but he's not, you know.
But you know what's crazy? I think Eugenio was one of the persons where I could be real with, and not, I could say like, hey, I don't like this because of this, and he wouldn't get offended with it. And I feel like some of these people in this area, if you say like, hey, I don't like that, they're like, fuck off. Wait, am I allowed to curse?
No, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. This is
you know, like some of these people like get offended of it. And I think Eugenio and I, we got that bond where we respected each other, but we gave each other our feedback where we always wanted each other to grow. And always, every day, we like, dude, there'd be times where it's like 6, 7 in the morning. He would call me like, what's the game plan?
And you guys have legit knowledge. So like, it's why it's nice for you guys to have that little dynamic duo. Like, oh no, bro, you fucked up on that shot. And you'll be like, oh yeah, you're right. Damn.
Dude, and every day we were always pushing each other. Like, dude, it was like, he was pushing me, I was pushing him. And even though we took photos, our photos were totally different. And it was crazy because there was times where we would take pictures of the same thing, and they would always come out differently. So like I just liked it. You know,
I think cool. yeah, Eugenio was a very unique individual to me. I think he's got a lot, even though he's a lot older, I'm sure, than both of us, I'm assuming. Oh, he's older. Right, he's older than me.
Yeah, he's older than you, but I think he's either right around my age.
Well, he's definitely got a good future I can see for him because he's very talented. He's really skilled. I remember when I first met him, I went with Juliana because she was collaborating, and I was just gonna go to create and film with them.
I remember that.
And yeah, that was the first time I met him, and he was really cool. He knew what he was doing. I love the fact that he started from the base of no lights to learning from one light to the next light to the next. I was like, wow, this is so cool. And like, even though I get excited after every shot he takes, he goes, no, we're not there yet. We're almost there. I'm like, oh, there's more? Okay.
You know, it's crazy nowadays. Like, after having the studio, I have the capability of maybe shooting 6, 7 lights if I want to. And there's sometimes where I see these pictures, and if you break down the picture, it's just one light. And I'm like, damn, why didn't I think of that? And then when I shoot it, sometimes I'm like, I hate it. Like, why the fuck did I decide to use one light? And it's just, I don't know, like.
It's definitely a nice growing pleasure. I see it as, because like for me, you know, I started off with no lights. And then after learning from you and Eugenio, I was able to buy myself at least a speed light to learn from. And then I was able to get myself a second light, which I was learning to do like the hair light or the rim, the backlight.
Yeah.
Which made me a lot more excited. And then when I see Eugenio adding more different elements to his lighting, it's like,
I remember you did a shoot in your garage, and I think either we talked about a hair light or a scrim light, and I remember you posting it. You were wearing your black fedora, and it was a black background, and you're like looking straight up, and you did it in your garage, and you were so excited. I think you called Eugenio and I, and you were like, "Dude, look at this!"
Yes.
It was a good photo.
Yes, I was very excited.
But fun fact: the Greek word of photography. Do you know what it really means?
What's that?
You're gonna break it up into two. Every word has a Greek word. Pho in Greek. Pho, like photography. Pho means light. And the other part of the word means drawing. So it's a light drawing.
Light
So
drawing.
if you have good light, you'll have a good photo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So technically, the Greek word of photography is light drawing.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even think about you be drawing with light because they don't see it that way. They're thinking of it as like, oh, you're drawing light. No, you're using it to draw an image of what you're trying to capture.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
And I think that's like the crazy thing about shooting in the studio. Like when I go outside, I struggle. Like I hate shooting. Like I can shoot outside stuff, but like I struggle because in the studio I could control everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. I think that's why I stopped doing a whole lot of natural light type shoots because it's just not as pleasing anymore.
Yeah.
It's not as fun.
Like there's some guys out there, I'm like, how did you do that? I'm like, and when I realized it's the dynamic range of some of these cameras, I was like, damn, man, that shit's pretty dope. Natural light.
Like, especially, I mean, Sony, don't get me wrong. They really have improved a lot. And I know, like, obviously not a lot of people need the next expensive cameras, and it just really depends on how you choose to use it and how you want to use it for.
Knowledge is power, bro. You don't need a good camera.
Yeah. But for video, though, maybe a little different. Maybe a little different now.
I think Canon is good for video. Nikon's good for photos. I do love their colors. Sony, it's its own category.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Hasselblad, I'm not gonna even talk to. Capture One, I'm not gonna even talk about. we're gonna exclude medium format, but if you talk about, I'm not gonna even Olympus. I'm not gonna even talk about the three things. Sony is its own category. Could do all best of all three worlds, but I do like the colors on Nikon.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Do you ever have that weird green orange teal battle
all the time
when you're taking pictures?
All the time.
Yeah. I thought it was funny just to make fun of Sony shooters because they're always having that issue.
But honestly, I figured a solution out. I just get a hue saturation and I just pull it out, and it's kind of cool because like sometimes the subjects will have like red patches from that scenario. So I just figured out how to pull it out from the hue, and it's just a little preset that I made.
Nice.
And it just kind of pulls it out, and it's like pretty cool.
Nice. You guys can now buy his presets.
No. I am working on a couple of things, but not right now.
Soon, possibly. Stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
No, but no, that's pretty cool though. But I do wanted to mention this because like I know for me, I've had to obviously get a lot of advice, and I had to get I asked a lot of questions to you guys, you know, because I'm still learning myself. Now, for you, I'm curious though, what would you say has been the best advice you've ever had, and what would you say would be the worst advice you've had from not only wanting to start a business but photography?
Okay, it's gonna be kind of difficult to answer because the worst advice that I've gotten was not to do it. About the photography, it all depends on your location because this area right here,
yeah, they don't care.
It sucks. If you want to grow as a fashion person, go somewhere else.
Bigger places, Orlando, somewhere.
The best advice is, I wouldn't don't give up. Give up tomorrow. I forgot the guy's name. He said that like his dad was like an alcoholic and something, and I think it stuck with me. And he was like, "Don't give up today, give up tomorrow." and it kind of stuck with me for a while. And I think that's what kind of I do is like I always tell myself, dude, I don't know if I could do this anymore. I'll give up tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, I'm like, fuck that shit. I'll give up tomorrow.
Yeah, because it's another day for you to start, and then why would you want to keep stopping?
That one.
So I want to talk about your. It's up to you if you want to talk about this, but your explicit content, and we don't gotta get into detail, but I'm curious though, what made you want to get into doing that type of content?
How graphic can I get?
Go for it. This is
Okay.
the raw TaberPhotos tonight, guys.
Okay, hold on. We're human. We love sex. Sex
Amen.
pays. When I started doing this for photography, I was thinking, what is going to sell the most? Yes, a family portrait, you could get a couple $1,000 here and there, but what really sells? And it's sex. Because the way the United States is, they make it such a commodity. And I get it. Nowadays, people want to show more body parts, like the new normal, like the new normal bikinis, like a thong bikini. You know, we're told not to look at an ass or breasts or anything else, but we want it so bad because we're told not to do it.
Isn't the U.S. supposed to be rated like #1 in like sex type like? I don't know if it's
I can't answer that question. But if you look at Europe, nudity is okay over there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the rape crime over there, it's way less because they're exposed to naked people. And I don't know,
That's what I was thinking is like I feel like for compared to our country and other places, we have the higher rate of, there's more rapes, there's more predators out here, there's a lot more like probably porn stars that sell their body or OnlyFans that sell their bodies to get paid really good from a creep.
There's some of these people in this area that are making I'm gonna say we're gonna talk about Southwest Florida.
Okay.
Some of these people are making what your mom and dad or my mom and dad make a year, a month.
Really?
Dude. And knowing the business side of that, holding that content is so fucking valuable because let's just say like this. You start an OF. You get 30 followers right now. 6 months from now, you're going to get 60, 80, 90. You could technically recycle that old content to your new followers. So that content never goes bad.
That's smart.
And people are always going to want to pay that. And this goes back to our generation. I'm going to say millennials. They want instant gratification. And we're so addicted to our phones that you could just pay $5.99, $10.99, $50, whatever you want, just to see something instead of actually putting in the work, finding who that person is, learning them, getting to know them intimate, and then getting that type of photo or that you could just pay that. And it kind of clicked in my brain. I was like, these guys they want instant gratification. If I could get that content,
if you could provide them, then you get it. Hey, it's smart in a way. I mean, capitalize on those who are willing to spend their money on it.
I know it sucks to say that, but
it's realistic though. It's like it's real world. You gotta.
Dude, I have like an OnlyFans. I post behind the scenes on a lot of the stuff that I do. I'm not even showing you anything. And I have dudes that are willing to pay me up to $200 to see the actual content.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's pretty weird, and it's odd when they see like some of the people they see, because if you could find my Instagram, you could definitely find that other page. But I get a guy that'll come in here and be like, do you have content of this? Like, well, give me a list. And it's the weirdest thing ever. And sometimes I'm like, yes, but I can't show it to you because they paid me enough to not show it. And it's kind of wild, but
that is kind of crazy. Have you, again, you don't have to mention this or anything, but have you ever had a weird encounter doing stuff like this? Like, has anyone ever tried to, hey, you know?
All the time. But the thing is that I don't want them. I want their money. That's what I want.
Oh yeah.
They have they have something
Their
that
hardworking, sweaty money.
yeah, like I want their fucking money, and that's like the thing. It's like people always ask me like, it's a job for me, so like I guess I'm so. Is the proper word desensitized? Desensitized. How do I say that?
Desensitized.
Yes, I have problems saying with S's and T's. Lisp.
Blah, blah, blah.
But I'm around it so much that I want their money.
I mean, it
bad
makes
to
sense
say.
though. I mean, no, it's not. I mean, yes, I guess for some. I mean, some people are gonna obviously have their own opinions about it, but you're also just looking into reality of, okay, this is what consumers want.
Yeah.
And you're thinking of business. You're thinking of money. You're
Dude,
thinking of tactics.
Male or female, I don't care who you are. You have something that I want, and I have something that you want. I have the content, and you have my money.
So you shot both male and female.
100%. There was a guy and a girl here yesterday, and it was actually strictly just a guy in here. His girl was here.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And it was weird. I don't even think it was weird. He like asked me. He was like, "You don't." I'm like, "Dude, I'm not touching you. I'm just taking a picture of you." I'm like, "That's it." Like, I don't care.
Were you putting the whole oil on him?
No, actually, his girl was.
Oh yeah, you make sure that she does it. No,
Yes.
but do you expect to be doing this in like for a long term?
Obviously, look, I like fashion. I want to do more fashion stuff. I just happen to get known for this. Do I like it? I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say yes, but it pays the bills.
It pays the bills.
If I could get into more fashion stuff, editorial, that's the end goal, because the commercial side of that industry pays so much. I met this guy. His day rate is like 30 grand.
Wow.
Yeah. His day rate. And that's just a shoot. And that's not his creative fee. That's not his licensing fee or his usage
That's just
fee.
to take a picture?
That's just for him to come on the set to shoot whatever the fuck you want. He's 30 grand.
Wow.
Now, granted, he lives in like North LA or California.
So he must be really good if he pays that much.
Yeah. So, hey, if I could get $10,000, $20,000 to shoot for a day, that's where I want to be.
I mean, hell, I would love to do that. Take
So-
a couple photos. All right, I'm good for the next
But
couple months off.
But to answer your question honestly, like, obviously, like, I know I can't do this forever. I'll hire some people if they could manage this and continue this to grow, because, dude, if some of these girls are making $300,000 a month and I could get 1% of that, I'll continue doing it. I'll hire an editor, I'll hire a photographer and teach them how to shoot like I shoot, because everybody's replaceable.
Are
know?
you wanting to turn TaberPhotos into a bigger production, or are you having?
Yeah. Why am I gonna limit the amount of money that I can make? Yeah, of course. Now, I do want to do more hotels. I do want to do more restaurant stuff. I do want to
Higher
do more
luxury.
yeah. So, and it kind of sucks, and this is the bad part about this, is I had to create 2 LLCs to separate that, because I hit up people. Now, I kind of fucked up on this, and I made a Facebook last name Tabor, first name Photos. And when I hit up people, I obviously post half of that, or my Facebook post automatically. So you see half naked women on there. I'm like, hey, I'm Kyle. I could do your menu pictures. And they're like, you sure you could do that? So,
Dang.
yeah, it kind of fucked me over a little bit. So I had to create, with Eugenio, we created the Cave Studio, obviously this, and now I created like a media team.
Nice.
And now the Cave Studio Media is like reaching out to more of the hotels, menus.
Nice.
We've been getting some work on that.
So you're using Cave Studios to reach out for the more the volume,
Yes.
and Tabor Studios is the more creative.
Yes.
Nice. I see what you did. Look at
Yeah.
you. You learned from your mentors right there.
Yeah.
Nice. See, that's pretty neat. That's pretty
Yeah.
neat. All right, guys. So I want to talk about the sponsor we have today, which is Duke and Dame. Duke and Dame right here. We've already, obviously, you could tell we've been finishing the bottle already. Tabor loves it. Jans loves it. We all love it. And I want to tell you, they love it. So let's see what they have to say. Our founder saw that there were no whiskey in the markets that are offered amazing aroma and taste without compromising quality. There were also no whiskeys that were able to appeal to both whiskey authentists and those who may not have enjoyed whiskey in the past. I'm honestly trying to like just pick and choose.
Can I say
what
a
to
couple
say.
things?
Yeah.
All right. Not gonna lie, I drink a lot. It helps me get a little bit creative. You brought this over here. I was very skeptical. I thought it was gonna taste pretty bad.
Yeah.
And honestly, it doesn't need anything. It's so smooth.
Wait. Say it right to the camera.
It is so smooth, and it's not like too sweet, but it's just enough where I'm drinking it. Technically, it should be on the rocks. Obviously, there's no rocks there, but I'm drinking it straight up.
We're taking it straight out of the bottle.
And it's so smooth where I could definitely sip this all day.
Oh yeah, and that's why I really like it. Okay, let me see what else. I gotta continue the little. Yeah. So it does contain a premium blend of 100% corn whiskey, including a 2-year age bourbon. It does have 100% natural ingredients, no artificial flavoring or colors. And when you take the first sip, you get the taste of the caramel forward with the robust aroma and flavor. Buttery smooth finish without the whiskey burns. Smells sweet, sweeter than it tastes. Only 1 gram of sugar per serving, which is crazy. So if you guys are interested in getting your Duke and Dames is now available at the Wine Spirit and I believe now in Walmart. So you guys can check out the liquor aisle there and get yourself a bottle of Duke and Dames.
Aren't they based out of Florida?
Yes, I believe they are based out of Florida. But I know they also have their bottles distributed now in different locations. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really nice. And it's actually really cool. I got to meet the owners. The owners is really cool. They're really nice. They're amazing guys. They're party people, that's for sure.
What?
They are party people. We went to an event one time called the Mojitos in the Sun, and they got to basically sponsor their drinks there. And they mixed their drinks with they had mango, they had peach. Yeah, they had different flavors. Oh my gosh.
Why wasn't I invited to that, bro? What the hell? Dude, this is...
Yeah, it was fun. We went for work, but we ended up drinking and working at the same time, and at the end of the night, Duke and Dame was all in me.
Dude, I would buy this.
Yes, I really like it. I feel like it's a good drink to especially have the sponsor, you know.
They got to get into ABC because I shop at ABC. So if they're there, I'll pick it up.
If you guys are watching, maybe if you guys want to get into that, you know.
Yes.
He's getting you some of that.
I get all my damn points at ABC Liquor, so yeah.
So let's talk. I want to talk about because now TaberPhotos is not only doing photography now, he's also doing videography.
Yes.
So was videography something that you wanted to do, or is this also a business thing that you just wanted to capitalize on?
Once I realized that I was good at lighting, let me back this up. Had a horrible breakup. Moved over to Fort Myers from a friend that brought me over here. He kind of introduced me to this gentleman that was running for Congress. I'm going to say it like that. And they did a video production, and it kind of opened my eyes. And one day I came in there, and I was like, they asked me to set up the whole shoot. And I set up the shoot, and they were like, what lights did you use? I was like, the same that you're using. Like, why does your shit look better than what we've had? I was like, and that's when it kind of hit me, like I knew what I was doing with lights, especially with constant and strobes. And at that point, I was like, if I could do lights, I could definitely do more video stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm no editor. I suck at editing. I'm still learning. So I could help you set up the composition, film it, set up the lighting. But editing-wise, I'm still learning on it.
So I think in the filming roles, you would probably fit as a photographer.
Director for photography.
Yeah, a DP. Yep. I could see that.
Yep.
Because you definitely do have the lighting set up, and even with this, you set up the lights like this, and it's a nice vibe. Dude, compared to how we try to.
And it's so fucking simple. Like,
yeah, for real.
Like I'm gonna have a shitty. I actually hold on. I'm gonna change my vocabulary. I have a amateur C-stand with a VGM Godox, I think, or VGM
wow.
light. It's 80 watts with a dome on there, getting us natural light. We have this light bar back here.
Getting that nice hair light.
They sent it to me. It was like $200, and they asked me to do some videos for them, and I made them a video, and they sold it to me for $100, half
Oh
off.
wow.
And we have some VGM lights in the background. Like,
It's a vibe. I like it.
dude, I think that if you understand lighting, it will help you set up your videos. You're better. And honestly,
It tells a bit of a story too.
yeah.
Like even with the lights like this, it gives a very ambience vibe still, you know?
Dude, we could even lower this down if you want to make it more sexy.
True. Get all up in our faces.
But like we literally have two lights right here. Our fill light, or our main light here, our fill light for our hair light, and we got two background lights. I probably could have put some more lights in there. I wanted to keep it simple. I know that I'm not as dark as you, and you're darker. So that was like my only concern. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to set up two lights. But once we figured out a happy medium for everything, I was like, all right.
It worked out. Worked out pretty good. So no, that's cool though. And that's what I think, honestly, that is a key part. And that's what I've had to learn too, is obviously, because it took me a while to understand, especially when I started video. I didn't understand, obviously, lighting. And when I learned from you guys, I was trying to find a way to find the balance of understanding from the photography, because I'm still learning on the photography and the video side. So now I have to figure out, okay, I know there's going to be some differences, but they're still the same, at least the lighting positions.
But this is another thing too. Yes, we're talking about the lighting, but look at your camera. You have a mirrorless camera. You had your ISO set at 160, right?
Yep.
Why did you keep it so low?
I like to keep it low just to keep it as clean as possible.
I bumped it to 400. You're probably not going to see any ISO on there.
Yeah.
That camera right here is at 800.
And that's a Sony, guys.
It's a Sony. But, dude, I showed you that picture. Remember that picture of the two females right here? Dude, I shot that at 4,000 ISO.
Oh,
you saw no grain.
Yeah,
it was
just your normal lights here.
So for the people who have never been here, this is the studio. It's completely black, even on the roof.
Oh, you should probably describe it for those who are listening as well.
Okay, so the Cave Studio is 97% painted black.
It's very dark. Not dark, but it's got that vibe.
Yeah, it has the vibe of a cave, hence Cave Studio. So I'll even get to, after this, I'll get to how we got to the cave. So the cave is painted black to absorb all the light. Hence, if you're watching, you could see, yes, there's red light back here, but it's absorbed because the wall is white. But everything else is black, and that absorbs all the light. So therefore, you get no light pollution. So the only light pollution we have are 5 lights on one side of the light, and they're all LEDs. And then Ortiz came by because he accidentally formatted a camera with stuff, and obviously I was trying to recover it, which I couldn't. But when he was here, I showed him some of these pictures, and the Sony, I shot it at 4,000 ISO. At 160 or 1/20th of a second at f2.8, and Ortiz literally thought that I had multiple lights set up.
I swore it looked like you had everything.
And the
blown.
only thing that I had is this light bar that's right here, just to illuminate red.
That's crazy.
And you were like, dude, there's no way. And I was like, dude. And I literally put Ortiz out there, put the one light, turned on the house lights, and shot it. And Ortiz was like, what the fuck? And I was like,
guys,
yes.
And that's the magic of editing after as well.
No. There was no editing.
No?
It was 4,000 ISO, shot for shot, like straight. I shot it on JPEG, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Fuck RAW.
He said fuck. Oh, man. Everyone in the comments is going to get you now. These people in the comments are going to chew your ass. JPEG, what?
Okay. So after owning a studio, I don't shoot RAW anymore. Very rarely I shoot RAW.
I mean, I understand. I can see because your light basically fills in everything that you need. You
Exactly.
do little to no editing.
Exactly.
That's what I learned from you, Henio.
Exactly. So I try to get my pictures 98. I try in my mind. I try to get it at 75, but in reality, what it comes out to is like 90% what I would need it to be. And I showed it to him. I shot one light into the cove or seamless wall or infinity wall, whatever the hell you guys want to call it. It has like so many different names. One light, and he was like, "How the fuck did you get the skin so smooth?" And I was like, "Just because it was flat lighting." And he was like, "What the fuck you're talking about?" And I literally showed him the before and after. And all I did was those two girls that were sitting on the curve, I smoothed out like one part of the girl's hand and like two spots I just added white because it was just shadowy a little bit. And that was it. And you were like, what the fuck?
Just very subtle. Very subtle little tweak touches to it. And
so when it comes to shit like that, of course, shoot JPEG. But when you have to do so much fucking work, I hope you don't get mad at me because I'm going to talk about you right now. There's a photographer that comes here a lot. I'm not going to say so you can't know if it's a male or female. This person will know who I'm talking about.
Well, let's see if this person, if they decide to watch.
True.
No.
Oh, I'm going to repost this. So definitely this person's going to know. So this person shoots in like RAW. And this person will shoot all these amazing content. And I sent her some pictures in JPEG medium. And I said, hey, can you edit these for me? I'm kind of busy. I paid her for it. She was like, I can't edit this. I was like, what do you mean you can't edit this? She's like, it's in JPEG medium. I said, fuck, you can't, bro. She was so fucking shocked. Dude, all she had to do was smooth out her skin.
Oh, really? Was that all you asked for her to do?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah, I didn't have time for it. I was like, hey, I was actually on the road. I was like, hey, look, I'm going to email you this drop link. I shot these 4 photos, just smooth out her skin and crop it. And that was it. Wow. And she was like, I need them raw. I was like, trust me, you don't need them raw.
So they didn't even want to edit them in JPEG.
Yeah.
It just has a weird feeling to it.
Now, if you're out, let's just say, can I say that one park you go to or no?
Yeah, sure.
Babcock Ranch. You have a lot of green. You have a lot of colors going everywhere. You do a creative shoot out there, of course, shoot in RAW. But you could do so much work on a JPEG image than on RAW. If it's a big client, of course, go shoot RAW. Somebody that's creative, shoot in fucking JPEG.
Elaborate on this.
On what?
On why all of a sudden JPEG though? Is it because it's more efficient?
One, it takes up so much fucking space. Dude, I have 2 computers. Okay, so on the other side of this wall, guys, for you that are not watching or listening, there's my office. I have 2 computers. I have a dedicated video computer, and I have a dedicated photo computer. There's no video in the photo, and there's no photo in the video. That's how it is. I have on the photo computer, I have 3 external hard drives and 3 internal hard drives. And they're fucking full.
How much space?
I have a 8 terabyte. I have a 10 terabyte internally. And I have what is it called? The C drive, which is the operating one, which is like 500 gigabytes.
Oh, wow. And
then externally, I have a 5 terabyte and a 3 terabyte and a 5 terabyte. And those are all fucking full.
That's full?
Full. It's in JPEG. What the fuck am I going to be doing? What the fuck am I going to be doing with fucking photos that I'm not doing shit with?
So I want to ask you this, lady, on top of that. Do you like to save your previous photos? Clients or fun photos?
Business side, yes. Non-business side, no.
Okay.
Because business side, let's just say you shoot a wedding. You deliver the photos via thumb drive, share grid, whatever the fuck you decide to share your photos with. What happens if those people lose their computer, lose that thumb drive? You could charge them to store it in your system.
True. That would make sense.
So I have clients that have paid for me to store shit. What is it going to really cost me? Nothing. But at the end of the day, it costs to store shit. Dude, I have 3 internal and 3 external hard drives.
And those aren't cheap.
No.
Those are not cheap.
Dude, a 10 terabyte is like fucking $250. The 8 terabytes like $200. Yes, I know it's not a lot of money, but still, like.
See, I only get myself a 1 terabyte, and those are barely $100.
Dude, now on my video side, I shoot on the Red. That shit, dude, if you look in the Red, like I have 2 hard drives. One is dedicated. The 8 terabyte is dedicated for all Red. Just in 1 year, it's full.
Wow.
Of just projects.
And you said like just for 15 minutes, that's like a whole terabyte right there, isn't it?
I think 30 minutes is 250 gigabytes, roughly, at 6K.
Oh, wow.
If we go higher than that, it could cost more damage.
Yeah, see, I'm not ready for that yet. I'm not ready for the big films yet.
But like, this is the thing. I shoot in 6K. I dumb it down to 4K, 1080p. What the fuck do I do with the rest of that shit?
True.
So on the video side, I kind of get rid of it after six months.
Okay.
Which I need to clear out. So one of my hard drives is full right now, so I have to clear out. But like on my photo side, I have clients that pay for me extra for like their shoots, and sometimes it's not a lot. You know, one client may pay an additional $100 for me to keep it lifetime. But I have clients that I say, hey, if you don't pay X amount of dollars, hold on.
So is there like a plan package you do for certain?
Everything's customizable for each client.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you do per client?
Yeah, per client. Like, for instance, that male that came by and I did his OF content.
Mm-hmm.
I think I shot maybe 2,000 photos and I shot some video on the Red.
Oh, wow.
The Red took up a lot. The OF content I shot on JPEG. So it took up no space. I send it to the client via Dropbox. And in 6 months, I delete it. Whatever I put on my OF to behind the scenes, that's there. But that's
I'm assuming you try to post before you delete these too.
Yeah. But there's days, and this is why I like keeping old content, because there's days where I'm bored and I could just post old content that you never see because I never post it. And 6 months from now, you're like, dude, this guy's shooting a lot. And really, it's just old shit.
True. I mean, that's smart. It makes you look like you're staying busy and you're staying consistent. So,
but also,
you trick the eyes of people.
It tricks the eyes when you're not busy. Are you really not busy, or you're really busy because you can't post?
True. Yeah. Even when you're just posting, it makes you look like you're busy. You know, you constantly doing something, but realistically, you're posting photos from probably last year or something. You know,
dude,
a throwback video of behind the scenes.
So I want to talk about a photo, and this is the power of content. I took a photo of a Playboy model. Okay. And she submitted it to get applied to be a Playboy bunny.
Oh, wow.
But she got accepted. And because of that, Playboy sent me a contract saying that I cannot post this for 8 years.
No.
And because...
How long has it been then since?
Oh, I posted already.
Oh, you did post it?
Yeah, I posted
nice.
it. Because it's been... I don't know. It was like the first year. It was that first year that I did that photography intern.
Mm-hmm.
And I met her from a plug from being in the city.
Nice.
And from there, she was like, hey, can you take some pictures for me? I want to submit it to some agency. Not knowing who it was, she was like, hey, can you just sign this model release form? And I was like, sure, send it over. Long and behold, it was Playboy. And to submit it, they wanted to buy the rights from it. And because I didn't know the business side of that, I could have sold Playboy the rights or the usage of that. But because I didn't know any better, I just signed it. Sure, I won't use this photo for fucking 8 years.
Did they at least pay you?
No, it's because I didn't know the business side of it.
Ah.
If I would have said, hey, I need X or I need Z for this, I probably could have gotten it from it. But because I didn't know the business side of it and because I was just a freshie, newborn, whatever, I just didn't know any better.
You just gave it for free.
I just gave it up.
That's crazy. Is this girl, is she still in Playboy?
She's a DJ now.
Oh. You still stay in touch with her?
Not really.
No?
She got famous. She blue check mark. She
Oh,
got
nice.
a couple 100,000 views. She was actually on a TV show. So if you guys are watching and you guys could figure this out, she's actually on Broadway, I think it is, or Bravo. She's on a reality TV show on Bravo. And yeah, those pictures that I have one picture of her. And that picture is what she submit for Playboy.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Holy crap, that's crazy.
Yeah.
How you feel about talking about the competition or quote unquote beef here in Southwest Florida? Like, can you remember the first time you've ever had beef with somebody, or you've had?
Fuck yeah. Oh God. So I kind of took Jamie, if you're watching this, because of this guy Jamie, he's been helping me a lot out on my business side. And he told me to stop talking shit about people.
Really?
So I'm not trying to talk shit about people, but I don't see people now as competition. I see them as an asset. Surprisingly, I try to see them as an asset.
Until they choose to push themselves.
Yes.
They put themselves in that position to fuck it up.
Yes.
I get that though. I mean, it makes sense. Because they have what you could use to make X amount of dollars.
And this is going to be hard. You might have to cut this part out. We're no longer friends anymore. And I feel like he's just so threatened because of me.
Did you say or do anything to this guy?
It goes a deep story, but long story short, and I think he got jealous because of how fast I scaled because he was here way longer than me.
So he's been watching you from behind the curtains.
So this whole part you might have to bleep out.
Okay, that's a long bleep I have to bleep there.
Or you just might have to cut it.
Oh, but that's so much juicy content to add.
That's the thing. I love the dude, but I don't want to start problems with him because he's probably like, dude, that's not the way it went, blah, 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 blah. And it's just, I feel like low key, I feel like he's probably one of my biggest haters because of how I don't even want to give more information about who this person is.
That makes sense.
Yes, but I do have a lot of haters. And I think it's just because I don't even want to talk about the haters.
I get it. I mean, sometimes the haters do tend to bring us down. That's why I usually try to avoid certain people that give off that certain type of energy.
Do you want to know my biggest competitor?
Who? Yourself?
Myself.
You're right.
Yeah.
You are your biggest competitor when you look in the mirror.
You know what's so funny? I borrowed some money from a gentleman to have some cash flow. And every day I would have these meetings with this guy. And he would be like, who's your competitors? And he drilled in my head that all these other photographers were my competitors. But my biggest competitor was myself. And I didn't know that until I took this workshop class and I realized, fuck everyone else. My biggest competitor is myself.
Yeah, I like that. Because you're holding yourself back no matter what.
Yeah.
If you're not trying to thrive and do better.
Dude, my model is if somebody walks through my door and says, hey, I want to try this, let's do it. Because you never know. It might open the door and I make $100,000, $200,000.
Nice.
And I don't want to be like, I don't want to try that. Like, let's just say your buddy comes over here. What's his name? Jans comes in and says, hey, I want to use your studio, but it could potentially make us X amount of dollars. I don't want to say no because you never know. It might pop off.
True.
Hey, your podcast may pop off right now, and you might be renting out my studio for the rest of the year. You never know that.
True. That we may not.
Your viewers may like this spot better than the last spot you shot. And where was the last spot you shot at?
Yeah, it was in a small, cramped office. Sorry,
and look at this. What would it cost for me? I give you a door code. You come and use here. And at the end of the month, you fucking give me money.
I mean,
I'm making money. You making money. No big fuck.
Everybody gets a happy.
What
happy
happened
ending,
to that camera? It's full. It died.
Oh, it died. Jan's. We had to use a Canon T7i
Hey,
for a third camera. And it
you
died.
want to?
No, it's fine. We're about to. We're gonna end up wrapping up anyway. So,
dude, I actually kind of like talking to you like this.
This is fun, right?
Dude, I was so nervous on how we were going to talk. You sent me a list, and I know that we haven't even captured half that stuff.
Yeah.
Actually.
Well, there was some. I didn't want to get some of the other things because I don't know, I wasn't sure if it felt right yet. But if anything, we could always have a TaberPhotos part 2 in the next episode. So if you guys want to see Tabor again, just let me know in the comments.
Dude, okay. Can you answer me this question? Why are you only posting on Spotify, not on Apple? Because I had to download. I had to download and make an account just to listen to Spotify because I dislike Spotify. Everything I run is on Apple.
So I'm gonna be on Apple Podcast soon. I gotta make an account for it because I'm using a website right now that's basically distributing it everywhere. It's called Podbean. Podbean.
I looked at doing podcasts and I don't think it. Is it the one where it's like $10 or $12 a month? So and you had to get X amount of downloads, and then it gives you different tiers, right?
I think so, yeah. And you can get monetized by doing like ads and everything.
Yeah, I've seen.
But this is just the start for me. So I'm hoping that once it starts building, obviously, and I start meeting different people and bringing them in on this, and they help share this will help go out, put out somewhere and like be able to meet like unique individuals like yourself, talented people that have been putting in the work, that has been trying to make a name for themselves and understands the grind and the passion that I'm trying to see within myself. So realistically, this podcast is for me to get advice from you guys.
I feel like I haven't given you enough advice. I think we need to do a part 2.
There's definitely going to be a part 2. So I want to start wrapping this up. So go ahead, Tabor. I want you to plug in whatever you like, whatever you can.
I don't need to plug in anything.
No, I mean it. Go ahead.
No.
If you ain't going to plug yourself, I'm going to plug you in there.
You don't. You have plugged me in so much. You've given me the opportunity to get this exposure. I don't need to plug myself. I think you need to plug yourself.
All right. Make sure you guys check him out at TaberPhotos. TaberPhotos, the Cave Studio, cavestudio.com. And make sure you check him out all platforms, all of it, everything he does, everything. He's really dope. Come check out the Cave Studios here in Fort Myers. It's right by some of the fireworks and I believe the Range Rover.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, somewhere around there. So you guys can check him out. And yeah.
I think you need to plug in yourself too.
I'll plug
Okay, hold on. Plug in yourself.
Okay,
I was trying to put up a nice little thing for you, but I just drew blank.
You guys can follow me on Instagram, the Daniel Ortiz, and you can check me out on my other business side, Daniel Ortiz Films. I also have a second podcast with my friend Jans called Weird Friends Podcast, where we just talk about the dumbest shit ever. Comedy, nothing but fun. Obviously, this is more of a serious podcast. And stay tuned because I'm going to be making a Patreon for the Passion Project so you guys can help fund this little thing I'm doing and I'm able to go out.
So I got a question for you.
What's up?
I got 3 questions. Because it's a passion project. Where do you see this project going?
I honestly hope to see it where, and it's going to be crazy to say it, but I would hope to get over the fear of speaking in public. And
speaking in public,
I would like to be able to, once I figure out the path that I'm going and I start to understand better about business, about life, about filmmaking and photography, I want to be able to be kind of like you guys, give a little bit back, give a little bit of advice.
There's no guys. It's just me now.
I mean, like.
So let me ask you this.
And I guess realistic in other ways, I want this to also be able to encourage other people. So like other photographers, other filmmakers, other people that maybe you want to get into OnlyFans photography content.
It sucks.
You know, I mean, hey, but they hear about the money, they hear about the tactics that you could probably do. This could end up sparking an excitement out of them, and they're gonna go, you know, I gotta message that TaberPhotos guys and get some questions from him because you never know. Like,
you're right. And I feel like you went away from the question, but
what was the question?
I was trying to lead up to a question for you, but like, where do you see this going, and like, where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years? Because like,
that's funny because I was gonna ask that. I was trying to ask you that earlier too. But, so for the podcast, I don't know. I guess I want to just keep doing this. I want to be able to keep talking to different unique talents like this, and again, keep getting different advice. I want to be able to pick people's brains and understand why they do this. Why do they choose to do this, regardless of it, even if it's just for the money? It could be for something more, you know? It could be an actual passion. It could be...
We need money to live.
Of course.
But I think what really got to my head was, I remember my uncle sat me down and he was like, what type of lifestyle do you want to live? Draw it out on a whiteboard. He had this huge whiteboard in front of his dining room kitchen. And I said, I want to have a helicopter. I want to have a truck. I want to have 2 race cars. I want to have a fancy car. I want to have this. I want to that. And then I want to have 2 boats, an offshore boat, inshore boat, and a house on the water.
Nice.
My uncle goes, well, what does it take for you to live like that? And I said, at least $300K a year on the low side. And he goes, that's what you need to make. How are you going to make that? And I was like, fuck.
Yeah. I definitely felt that. Well, I guess let's start wrapping this up. You sure you don't want to say anything else?
At
you don't
the moment, no, but I know as soon as you're going to be like, fuck, I should have said this.
Well,
it's going to come out and be like,
you're gonna
fuck,
get
I sounded stupid.
Next 10 seconds, you want to say something.
No, I'm good, bro.
All right. Well, I appreciate everyone that is listening and watching the podcast. Thank you, TaberPhotos, for being in this podcast. It really means a lot. Thank you, Jans, for coming and helping check on the cameras, make sure everything's filming. And again, thank you to my sponsor, Duke and Dame, here for providing the drink. It was amazing.
Can you plug in your camera guy? Because I felt like he has no... Like, he's been in the shadows this whole
you guys
time.
can check out Jans at JCloud on Instagram.
Can you come sit over here real quick?
JCloud Images. Here, hold on. Should I just scoot over myself?